Today's hot topic features Nathan Minsberg of BNV, the virtual destination for designers, creators, and global fashion brands. Nathan is a trilingual content producer and creative strategist with over a decade experience in Asia, Europe, and the Middle East, with an affinity for mediated semiotics and audiovisual experiences, elevating human agency. He has worked on high-profile projects in film and TV production, advertising, PR, and journalism. In 2017, he directed and released his first documentary film. Nate, welcome to Edge of NFT. We're excited to talk about this.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have you, Nate. And like, it's such a appropriate episode, right? Where we're talking about sort of this IRL visually stimulating immersive experience. And you've been breaking ground in the digital world in this area for quite a while. Could you share a little bit about how digital fashion is acting as a platform for co-creation in your latest project?
Yeah, for sure. And actually, first of all, as a side note, it's quite funny because I actually bumped into Galen in New York when we were there for NFT NYC. That's where we met. And this is the second time where we seem to be meeting. And we had a very deep conversation inside a nightclub about, what is IRL experiences and what does it mean to bring this sort of digital landscape into the lives of people physically, digitally, fidgetly. And so it's great to be here. And so what we're doing at BNV is really sort of building an ecosystem first and foremost. And it might sound like a very sort of technical word, but really we believe that there's no reasoning behind NFTs if it's not backed up by an entire ecosystem that allows for these digital assets to actually have influence, power, and especially power for the user himself and not just the brands and the creators that come in. So BNV is brand new vision. We deal mostly with digital fashion. We've also moved over the last few months into phygital fashion as well. But the idea is that we work with big brands from Tommy Hilfiger, Coach, Diane von Furstenberg, and smaller up-and-coming designers like Victor Vine Santo and Natasha Zinko. And we basically help them transition into this new, exciting landscape that is Web3. We build in-house all of our wearables with an incredible team of 3D designers and metaverse tailors. But then we also build all of the smart contracts. We own land in various metaverse worlds from Sandbox, Decentraland, High Street. And we're basically also about to launch, which is the most exciting part, over the next few weeks, our own metaverse world called BNV World. BNV World is a little different to other worlds. It's an infinite loop rather than a flat surface world. Your avatar, which we've built, it's our own unique avatar system. Your avatar comes naked. You dress it, you modify it with text-to-image AI, and you're basically also able to onboard and import your PFPs into this world so that you basically give a three-dimensional body to what is otherwise a two-dimensional JPEG, if you will.
I just want the ability to eat pizza, ice cream, and steak whenever I want, and pasta in particular without my avatar gaining weight. That's the goal.
So that's the goal for
It's
some.
achievable. I think that's achievable, Josh.
There's also the dynamic avatar ideology that actually, if you're running through a forest and you hit a rock, then actually your garment should be torn up. Or if you spend a couple of years lost inside the forest with no food, then you should get skinnier. So, everybody has their own different understanding of what it means to be an avatar in the virtual world. But the definitive sort of answer is that you can be anything and anyone you want to be.
I wanna throw the avatar I minted for Future Factory into your virtual world. I think that would pretty dope. What do you think, Paul?
Yeah. Well, we actually created the smart contract in a way where we can upgrade the assets that are attached to them. So our plan for long term is to be able to actually turn that, that portrait into a skin that you can walk around whatever metaverse you prefer.
So that's exactly our thinking. We're not trying to be a closed off metaverse where we want people to just come into our world and play within our system. We're actually a base. We want people to come in, dress and modify, but actually what we provide is interoperable copies of your high resolution wearables so that you can go into various different worlds, still wearing your asset and earning from it in various play, wear, earn, craft ways. But also, like you said, Galen, we want people to come in and sort of take their Bored Apes and CryptoPunks and Doodles and sort of be able to wear them as a skin on top of the face and the helmet.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you mentioned interoperability. I guess that's, that's so essential, especially in digital fashion. And so really appreciate you taking strides to make sure that that's a possibility. How far along are you in terms of making interoperability possible, and some of the challenges and looking into the future of how that works?
For sure. So we are already making interoperable digital assets. A lot of it is done manually through hard labor in-house. That means that you buy a high resolution, and then our team of designers converts it into voxelated format, low res for DCL, and so on and so on. What we are currently working on in-house and are very excited about is finding a way to scale up this process through, of course, our favorite two letters, AI, and doing so by basically training machines to learn the different aesthetics of different worlds, and allowing that process to be done a lot more automatically, if you will.
Very cool. And we met you and the rest of the team recently, and this is sort of hopefully the beginning of many more adventures to come. We're really excited about the adaptation of real world use cases to traditional fashion brands, and you guys are pioneering in that way. But before we adjourn this sort of beginning conversation, would love to talk a little bit more about the role of tokenization and BNV and how it impacts the digital fashion ecosystem.
Yeah, so tokenization is everything. We're not trying to do agency work of beautiful videos and 3D sort of content. Everything for us goes through tokenization because, we believe in co-creation. So a brand offers a product, but then the end user should be able to modify it or play around with it, and also, most importantly, earn passively or actively through different phygital experiences. So tokenization, in simple terms, it's your authentication, your certificate of ownership, but it's also your membership. It's where you can rack up points. It's where you can be told that this is London Fashion Week, and right now you get exclusive access to the Marc Jacobs show just because you're a G holder from the BNV membership team. So these sort of like exclusive access passes and experiences is something that we're definitely bagging a lot on. And the second part is that we really believe that where fashion is going in the digital landscape through AI and all of the different game engine abilities that you have to create, that brands are going to have to become more and more comfortable with the idea of creating together with their customers rather than ahead of the trends, if you will.
Right on.
Yeah. Exciting to hear about and envision and look forward to kind of playing around, and especially the metaverse sounds really cool. Unfortunately we have to wrap the segment. We don't always have a lot of time for the hot topic, but before we roll, can you give folks an idea where they can go to find out more, to follow along and keep abreast of the story?
Yes, definitely. So head over to bnv.me. And you'll find out everything you need about BNV. And excitingly, watch out, because over the next few weeks, we're launching the MEID station, MEID. And that is essentially the first phase of BNV World, which is the wardrobe system, avatar creation station. And you'll be able to do a lot of fun things in there, including, as I mentioned, text to image modification of garments, and onboarding and importing of your PFP personalities.
Very fun
cool
stuff. Thanks a lot for yeah, go ahead, guys.
That sounds incredible. I mean, whenever you want to do a fashion show here, we could do a phygital fashion show here at the Future Factory, right? Where we could have a actual in real life fashion show and then, simulcast it in the metaverse. We've actually working with these incredible partners called Red Pill VR. They have some mind blowing tech, and they're streaming. They have a DJ setup where DJ shows up and he records a set and streams simultaneously into the metaverse, where you can meet with friends all around the world. And I think if we did a version of the fashion show with that technology,
I would love to. This is exactly the kind of experiences we want to do. We do everything from holograms, AR filters, metaverse activations, and I'm pretty sure I handshaked with Galen at some point a few months ago that we would work together, so it will happen.
Yeah, the digital fashion show. I don't think I've ever heard of it, but it's got a nice ring to it.
Great to see
you. Count us in. Well, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll talk soon, Nathan.
Thanks.